Hello once again, people, and welcome to yet another episode of Seeking Shamblers. So, what are we doing this time? This time around, we're going to be checking out, actually, a level for TeamFortress, which is one of the biggest modifications for Quake, very historically relevant to check out, especially this map. This is possibly the most well-known of all the TeamFortress maps out there. Known as Two Forts, but it's also known as Two Forts with the number 2, and it's also known as TeamFortress 1.3 Two Forts. Yeah, basically it's the version made for TeamFortress 1.3. If you want to know the map file, it's 2.4.2.3, which means that there's been a couple versions before this. I think the original one was like 2.4, then there was 2.4.2.1. I haven't found either of those, but I have found 2.4.2.3, and therefore that is what I'm working with, as usual. But yeah, this is basically intended to be used totally with the TeamFortress thing. It's basically a 2-team capture the flag map. There's nothing else in this one besides it. It's very much like deathX. If you saw deathX a while back, yeah, this is another level that's kind of like it. The main difference is that this one is a lot more famous. Yeah, that's basically it. It's really that well-known Quake map that basically everyone would go to for TeamFortress. As said, TeamFortress is probably one of the biggest when it comes to Quake modifications. Basically, it's just a faction-based thing, if you will. Basically, each one, it's almost like a team-based capture flag thing, kind of like three-wave capture. But the big difference is that it has the whole idea of different classes. And you have all the different abilities of each one, the different weapons, and yeah. As said, we've seen it all kind of with deathX, so this is nothing really too new here. It's kind of just another map for it. And as said, we only had seen deathX before, so having another map is definitely relatively good. It's actually another map made by John Cook, which is one of the authors of TeamFortress. Yeah, it seems like John Cook is the map editor. It seems like the other guy, Robin Walker, is the one who made TeamFortress in general with him. But when it comes to making the maps, it seems like John Cook is the one who does the maps themselves. Now, as I said, deathX was a thing. It was one of the maps that was made, and it was made by John Cook back in September. This one is made in actually, it was made in October, late October, but it was made in October. Like I said, I believe there's probably a few versions before this. I know there's a few versions before this. I don't know when those versions came out. I don't know when exactly the Two Forts versions were released, and if this one predates deathX or if it doesn't. As said, deathX was late September. I don't know if this was like a map that got started working on in early October or late October or wherever have you. But yeah, basically the version I have here was a bit later than deathX was. If it was a revamp, it makes total sense. But as said, this was made in October of 1996. So we're going a little bit back from my November period. But that is to be expected. As said, really I can't hit upon all the maps at one time. I don't really know all the maps or really have a good chronological way of looking at everything. So needless to say, I kind of have to bounce around and make the chronological list afterwards. So it's kind of, in the future, we're going to have a much clearer list. But for now, we have to kind of progressively find what we can and dig from there. So, anyway, as said, this is made for TeamFortress 1.3, which is the main reason actually I've been holding off on really checking it out until I found 1.3 specifically. I had found TeamFortress 1.2, but the entire map format was changed to 1.3. I don't know if a few later versions would work. I think I've seen like 1.3.5 somewhere, I want to say. But I was looking specifically for the original version of 1.3. I was wondering if I was ever going to find it. And sure enough, I did. So, needless to say, now I'm going to check out the map made for TeamFortress 1.3 specifically. So, this is entirely made for the version that I have. Fully as supported as you can get. And unlike deathX, which was made for 1.2, which had a lot of broken spawn points and all that, this one will work perfectly fine. It's fully made for the version, and it was on a relatively stable release, I think. Yeah, I don't really remember any really severe issues of 1.3. By that point, a lot had been fixed up. Anyway, this is just a deathmatch level. It was made using quests. It's nothing really that fancy here. Yeah, the objectives to infiltrate the enemy base and capture the enemy flag, which is in their basement. The flag must then be returned to the middle battlement of their home fort. There was resupply points on the second level of each fort. Yeah, I think there were resupply points in underneath the staircases of each ramp on deathX. So even that's not really too different here. So yeah, the frag count of each player should be their team scores, blah blah blah. As said, really, this is basically just doing deathX again. It's really nothing too novel or too new. Like I said, the big thing here is that it's the most famous of all the TeamFortress maps, and therefore it's kind of necessary to tackle this when we're tackling all the 1996 stuff. And 2, it's also, as said, the most famous one, and therefore for TeamFortress maps is heavily relevant to check out. Plus, as said, we've only seen one of these before, so it's not too mundane at this point, I guess you could say. It's different than your normal deathmatch level, which is something. And we haven't really been able to see 1.3 on a recording yet, because normally I don't really bother with multiplayer modifications, and TeamFortress is mostly a multiplayer modification, especially 1.3 where it gets rid of the monsters. So, needless to say, it's one that I really didn't feel compelled to make a video about or showcase all the different features. So I guess I could kind of show some of the different stuff here, where it'd be a bit more relevant along with 2423. So, with that in mind, let's load this thing up, get underway with this thing. As you see, it has its fancy little console. It's slightly different than the normal vanilla console. It has that TeamFortress icon distinctly there. Not really the biggest difference in the world, but it's there. And if you actually hit escape, you can actually go to TeamFortress Help, which has a fancy little separate TeamFortress Help. Nothing really fancy, but it does show the different classes, and each one of these has like a different skin. If we were in GL Quake, I could actually show you the individual skins because we could have a cheese cam. But in DOS-based Quake, I don't think the cheese cam exists, and therefore we don't really have the ability to do anything like that. So yeah, we're going to choose random PC, so that way every time we die, we'll get a different class. Interesting thing about the help is that it seems like it was made before the Pyro class was made. The Pyro class was introduced in 1.3, but it doesn't seem like it was included in help screen and some other little areas, so it probably was like a last minute addition, or it was like this was made very early in the design, or who knows. But that's beside the point. Anyway, 234 is the level, I thought. Is that 234? Now I'm trying to remember what the name of the level is. Don't you feel proud of me? I thought it was 234. Let me check here. Oh, it's 2423. Okay, yeah. I guess that makes sense because it's the 2 fortresses. And it's version 2.3 of it. Yeah, that basically explains a lot. Let's see here. 2423. Yeah, I should probably know that. It's one of the big Quake maps. And as said, this is a big classic Quake map. A lot of people would know this map. I really don't, because I've never really messed with TeamFortress and all that stuff. But yeah, for a lot of people, this probably is a very nostalgic moment right now. Anyway, I assume I'm going to need to define what class I'm in first, so I'm probably going to have to say, if I check out team play is 1. It gets automatically set whenever you go to a capture the flag based map for TeamFortress. So needless to say, we're going to have to say I'm in 1. Actually, we might need to go to deathmatch for this, because the alliances are heavily unreliable here. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see if we can get like some sort of like create a fake. Can I like create one? I just want to create the server. Yeah, I just want to create a deathmatch server. I know it's not really going to work well, but that's the idea. there's no music in the level, so we might as well turn the music off because it's lying to me. And let's see here. We want 2 Fort 2 3. There we are. Now we're back in it. As you can see, we can click between the different spawn locations. It's like you always get designated forward whenever you click. But as you see, it's just really overlooking the 2 fortresses. If you notice, really, there's a central bridge, and then you have the 2 fortresses. One on each side. So let's see here. If I type in I'm in 1, there we are. Now I'm in team number 1. As said, alliances don't really work in single player well, for whatever reason. So yeah, needless to say, one big reason never to use alliances in any single player mentality thing. I wonder how well they would work in cooperative. They might work fine. But yeah, in single player itself, you don't want to really rely upon alliances for things. And generally, you're going to rely more upon impulses anyway. Let's see here. Unless you really are forcing people to actually accurately type things. Let's see here. So I'm in Team 1, so now I can actually join. I think I want to do random PC, as said, so that way I can do any random class. It will roll through them and be whatever. I don't know what I'm going to be, but let's see. So, I'm a medic this time. So as you see, I get the ability to look around. I'm apparently on the blue team, based on the fact that I'm in the blue fortress. So let's see here. I have my super nail gun, which is the main way to fight enemies. I also have my shotgun, a double-barreled shotgun. I have a couple different guns as a combat medic. Oh, okay. So here's a floating backpack that allows me to resupply my ammo. And it probably, yeah, it just does like a few seconds, and you can resupply ammo again and again and again and build yourself back up. Now, I'm not sure about health. If it, like... Yeah, it seems to be boosting your armor as well. So yeah, this is resupply in general. Unlike deathX, where deathX had 2 of them, one that did health and one that did ammo, this seems to be doing everything. I'm assuming if I got injured somehow, hard to kind of get injured when I don't really know the map or really where to get injured, then I'm assuming you'd get that resupplied as well. Now, the main thing is that the medic class kind of stinks when it comes to trying to show things off, because we do have this custom looking axe. It basically is a normal axe, but it's been differently retextured. And that's the main reason I don't really consider it like its own weapon, because it's almost intended to be like the axe, just different. But yeah, this is the bioweapon. The bioweapon is basically you whack it with someone and it basically causes them to get infected with a disease. And so they'll slowly lose health unless they can find 100 health, or if they get healed by a medic. And the way to heal people is using this, the medikit. So you see, basically the only difference between the two is the light on the axe. Red is basically bioweapon and yellow is medikit. Yellow would basically heal up your allies or whatever. It really is your healing faction. That's really the main thing of the medic, is either causing that or causing disease to others. As I said, really, it's kind of hard to show off this class without another player there. Like, let's see here. What do I have in my inventory, actually? Let's see here. If you type INV, you can see your inventory. You get used to this stuff after a bit of time. But yeah, you can see I have 3 normal grenades and 6 concussion grenades. So I guess I'll start with a concussion grenade because it's easier probably to show off. And I'm just going to prime 2. Now, I'm supposed to throw the grenade, but in this case, I'm not going to. It won't kill me because it's a concussion grenade. Basically, it just makes me dizzy. And yeah, that's basically the idea of a concussion grenade. Is you basically try and throw it, and if it hits someone, it makes them dizzy, and you can get away, escape, do whatever. As said, the medic is more a support class, so really, it makes sense for the grenade to not really be that lethal. So if I do prime 2 and then throw Gren, there we are. I probably should bind one of these, or shouldn't I? I'll do it for prime 1 specifically, because that one would be more lethal if I don't do it right. So I'm going to bind these for a second, take just a second, so that way prime 1 and throw grenade. So if I press H now, I should throw the grenade, and then throw it. There's my hand grenade. That is basically your normal grenade, except it has twice the radius, I think it is, to a normal grenade. But as you see, the medic already automatically heals. It heals like 5 health every few seconds. But you can also resupply and you get your health back anyway. As I said, this is a great place to mess around with things because you can easily resupply and heal back up. I think this is the only place you're going to get healing or anything on the map. Yeah, that's basically the thing about Team Fortress. There's not really a lot going on with the maps themselves. It basically just has to capture the flag element and it has the resupplying entities. Basically anything that would be in the vanilla game doesn't really exist. There's no guns, there's no anything. How did I get up here? I thought there was like a staircase or something, but now I feel kind of lost. I feel like I'm stuck up here. That's weird. Like, I always drop down, but I want to figure how I get up here. I'm like on these towers, and you would think I would just walked up some staircase. How did I get up here now? Huh. Well, I have to drop down, I guess, and I'll figure how I get up this way. So as you see, this is the lower part of it. Just like the other one with deathX, we have Team 1 and Team 2, each one having its own designated Team Fortress name. I'm assuming if you go in the other one, you're seeing 2 on there. As you see, here is your base itself, just like a big open basement area. Here's like the staircase leading upstairs. Let's see here, where does this go? You can go over there, or you can choose this way. This way, I think, is where we spawned, I want to say. Yep, here's the resupplying area. And here's the little window. Wait, how in God's name did I get lost with that? All yeah, I did was go through the doorway here. But yeah, that's the balcony. If you want the balcony. And here we are. Here's a little area that's overlooking the lower floor one. So if you want a quick way down, all you do is drop down there and you can get down to the main courtyard. Or you could go through the windows. That's always an idea too. Wait, where are we going? I'm a bit lost. I kind of understood it, but now we found this ramp. Was this like the other way I was planning on going? There was 2 ways up here, and I wanted to figure out. And we have the ramp over there, and then we have this way. This way seems to be a giant hole. Interesting. So you can like sit over here and watch this and watch what's below. I'm assuming this is maybe we are watching for the flag, but doesn't seem to be anything here. Did I not do it right? Like, shouldn't there be flags here and capture the flag mode? Yeah, it feels like I have, like, deathmatch enabled, but I don't have capture the flag enabled for whatever reason. I'm going to have to definitely see about that, but I think that's where the flags are supposed to be. Because otherwise, it's a bit empty, my base. There's a giant pool of water in the middle. I'm assuming if I land in there, it's going to kill me, or there's some other way out. But yeah, the red base is the exact same thing. Has the 2 sides, has the upper floor, has your way leading down a staircase, and another way that's going to be leading upwards. There's your way up into the fortress, and here's where I'm assuming is the basement, where the flag would be. So if I want to get the other team's flag, I should be coming down here to the water. I guess if you fall into the water, you're coming to here. Yeah, you're basically coming to the enemy's fortress. Unless there was some water on the other side that I happened to miss. That could always be the case, people. I kind of am lost. What else is new? But yeah, all you do is basically go to where you want to go and gather the flag and return to your base. And I'm assuming you go to the similar side on your base. So I gotta figure out where the flags are, if they even exist. I mean, there's the resupplying stations. The resupplying station only works via teams, so it's not going to allow me to resupply from here. There's not a lot else here anyway. You know, it'd be useful if there was a lot more players, but with just me, a lot of this is kind of just bare bones empty areas. So as you can see, that's all that is. Here's where you can overlook 2. And you can see the doorway, if you will. Actually, no, this is where you check out the basement. So yeah, you can look over and see the basement. Yeah, I'm thinking the other area upstairs we can overlook too. I think we already saw that. But yeah, let's see here. We come down. Where are we? This is the area I was talking about. We can overlook too. This is the basement area. I think maybe this is where you claim the flags, but not where the flags are. Which begs the question: where are the flags? Well, here's the flag. I found the flag, people. So the flags do exist because here's the flag. So you have the flag. Return to your base in the middle battlement. What's the middle battlement? I have no idea, but at least we found the flag. And unlike deathX, there's not a lot of killer death things to touch that will instantly kill you. I'm assuming this is where you want to go, like that little round area, basically next to your flag. So it's like you have to go the other way from like your little area. Yeah, that or maybe red base is just a bit more developed than blue base, but I think there's probably both. I'm just missing the areas on the other side's base. But yeah, you can come down here, you come down to the middle, and we have our waterway area. Let's check out the water, because we have our water. This should lead to that waterway I saw before. So let's come down here and see where exactly it goes. As you see, there's not a lot down here. You would be interesting, like an aquatic faction, like a faction that can handle being underwater indefinitely, like a scuba faction or something. That would be interesting to see. I mean, it's kind of late to add it to TeamFortress, but it's an idea. That would be cool. That could lead to a whole different dynamic. But yeah, as you see, this is just a staircase leading up and down from the water. That's kind of what leads to an entrance. So let's go back to it. But of course, I want to go via the water because we didn't see the water for the blue base. So let's head this way. Of course, it's symmetrical, and of course, there's nothing really to look at. As said, really, it's just the base itself. Nothing really fancy here, so let's just go back upstairs. There's no guns to pick up, no things to really do besides beat the different classes. Okay, so we're at 1, which means what exactly? Well, we could go up the ramp. Yeah, probably good to actually go up the ramp we need to in order to get to our basement anyway. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to the basement unless you go up the ramp. Then you come over here, here's the basement. And you can drop down here, and isn't this the battlement? Like, if I drop down here, maybe? Maybe not. I mean, the flag should be down here. So this is where the flag is. So where do I bring the flag? They said the center battlement, but I have no idea what that is. Yeah, you would think they would have made that more clarified, honestly. I'm not really doing too good. I thought it was that round area, but it doesn't seem like I scored anything. So I don't think that is the area I'm supposed to go with it. I know any veterans right now are probably cringing watching me play this and seeing that I'm not knowing where to go with the flag. Yeah, it's like, it should be clear, but I couldn't tell you. Is it just here, the main entrance? I don't think so. I mean, they said central battlement. I'm assuming the central battlement of each fort. It couldn't be the center bridge. That would be stupid, right? I mean, I guess I could try that, but I don't think it's a center bridge. I don't think that's what they meant. No, it's somewhere in the fortress, which begs the question. I would almost assume that it's, you know, that center area, either the area that's overlooking something, or I don't even know, people. Like I said, I'm trying to figure this out. I feel like I'm trying to solve a mysterious puzzle, and this shouldn't be that hard. You know, imagine an intense deathmatch trying to figure out where I'm supposed to put this stupid flag. You know, I mean, I guess you could have some veteran yelling at you right now saying, "Just put it here, you idiot." But sadly, we don't get that. Alas. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is what they mean by the central battlement. They just mean the upper floor area, the area that overlooks everything. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Battlement meaning like the turret area. Anyway, I think we've done enough with the combat medic class. In fact, we've really done everything we can with TeamFortress in general. But we have the classes. I can mess around with that. So let's kill myself. And there we are. Now we have 10 seconds until respawn. Yeah, you have to wait like a number of times before you can respawn each time. Has it been 10 seconds yet? I'm bored. Okay, and so now we are the sniper. The sniper is probably one of the more fancy classes to show off in TeamFortress. I mean, you have the nail gun, which is pretty stupid. It's not really going to help much with this. But the main thing is that we have the sniper rifle. Now, we have a fully auto mode. It just causes weak damage and it has a custom sound effect. But that's not really what we care about. We care about the sniper rifle itself, which is kind of a bit of an overhaul in 1.3. As you see, there's my medic faction. There's the medic skin. If you notice, now I can zoom in and there's the crosshair. You can see a little tiny red X, which allows us to see basically what we're sniping at. Now, the main thing is that with shadows and like GL Quake, it ends up looking a lot worse than this. And I've tried deactivating the shadows and making it so that way it works, but it doesn't seem to like it. Let's actually see how it works with some models. It seems to work perfectly fine no matter where you put it. It looks actually rather nice. I might need to look into that some more and see if there's a reason for it ended up like a black X. If it's like the shadows of GL, OpenGL or something like that. Because yeah, in vanilla DOS Quake, the red X works always and it's always visible. It's never shadowed, it's never hidden, even though it's a model, which is interesting. I figured that you needed to have a sprite in order to do that, but as you can see, this is not the case. You can have a sprite, a model, and have it fully lit in DOS Quake. So that begs the question why it doesn't work like that in GL Quake, if it's like a shadows thing or what's going on. I thought I deactivated shadows and it still was having the issue, but I'm going to have to, like I said, give it another try, see what's going on. As you see, you basically hold it down, it'll zoom in, and then you can basically shoot. The crosshair basically is where you want to shoot. The crosshair that you see in the middle of the screen is a bit of a lie. It's kind of useless in TeamFortress because you use the sniper rifle one. And yeah, I would really rather use this red X instead of the blue bubble I have in Stripper currently, but sadly that's all I have to really work with. Anyway, I'll kill myself. I have basically M set to respawn. I just suicided twice. I'm proud of myself for that one. Let's see here, what's next? You have to like wait 10 seconds and then you can respawn. Okay, so with the scout class. The scout class really doesn't have a lot to it. It's basically just ridiculously fast. That's like the main benefit of the scout class. And I think if you look at the inventory, I should look at the inventory for the sniper, but I don't think it really matters that much. If you notice, there's a weird bug when it comes to like seeing what type of weapon class you have. You can use the scanner, but like the scanner has like nothing there because there's nobody else in the map. But if we throw grenade 2, Prime 2, I think it is, and then we throw it, that will basically be our flare. As you see, it basically lights up the area, which is kind of hard to see when we're in the pitch bright area. Yeah, it didn't really help me, did it? Let's see here. Let's hide in the darkness, and actually this time I'm just going to prime it, because if you let it go too far, it will actually light up you, as you see. Now it just totally lit up me. So yeah, if you land it, it looks like that. For a projectile, it just kind of sits there and glows. If you accidentally prime it too long, you end up lighting yourself up. Simple enough. What's next? I mean, it would have been nice if I saw what like the sniper grenades were. I don't think there was anything fancy with the sniper grenades. I think it was just like war hand grenades. Oh, come on. I was already the scout. I literally just was the scout. Give me something that's not the scout. Like, where's the heavy weapons to when you need them? That would be a class we haven't seen. Oh, the Pyro. The Pyro is a big new class to 1.3 and has a lot of little fancy features. Interestingly enough, you don't really see the extra weapons on him. Nobody's supposed to get, like, extra weapons. Like a rocket launcher and... Yeah, okay, they're there. It just doesn't show in the inventory. But yeah, here's the flamethrower. Basically, it's like a flamethrower every other one you've seen. The main difference is that it is able to shoot and set things on fire. And I can set myself on fire this way. Now, I believe the Pyro has asbestos armor, which means they're more resistant to getting set on fire. If I wasn't a Pyro right now, I could like set myself on fire more easily. And inevitably, at a certain point, I will start setting myself on fire and like just kill myself. You know, that probably wasn't actually a smart idea because now I didn't get to check out all the other different things for the Pyro. And the medic, we kind of already did. needless to say, really it doesn't matter too much. It's just kind of the little factions and the little minor differences. Okay, the soldier class. That basically is a slow-moving class that basically is almost like regular Quake. You get your shotguns, you get your double-barreled, you got your rocket launcher. Until 1.3, you even had a super nail gun, but this one actually removed the super nail gun. Basically, you have your normal grenades, and you also have a nail grenade. So if I prim 2 and then throw it... Oh, that's a hand grenade. Whoopsie daisy. I have to actually physically prime 2. And then throw grenade, not pin. So you see, it looks like a normal grenade, but shoots nails. You see, it just basically spins in a circle, shoots nails, eventually blows up. Yeah, I think we've seen that elsewhere outside of Team Fortress, but yeah, Team Fortress being the one it is, it's one of the ones that probably popularized that idea as well. I have no idea if it was popularized. Ah, the heavy weapons guy. You basically got the shotgun, double-barreled shotgun, and all that. But we also have the assault cannon, which is really the gun we care about here. Basically, you move around, you see your enemy, and then you spam raining death. If you notice, it has a cooldown time, and you can't, it basically gets overheated. Basically, you have to wait for it to cool down. It's like a massive chain gun, if you will. But yeah, it's also, fires so strong that you can't actually move while shooting it. It shakes the screen. The longer you shoot, the more inaccurate it gets. Little different things. Also, you get a Merv grenade with him. Prime 2, and then we throw the Merv grenade. Let's see that one. So you see, it breaks into a cluster. Really, really lethal. And that's basically it outside of the pyro. If we can get the pyro. Would be nice if we got the pyro. I bet we're not going to get the pyro this way. Yeah, this... Oh, wow! Look at the luck of that! We got pyro! Okay, so what is the pyro give us? The pyro gives us the flamethrower. And it also gives us the incendiary cannon. The incendiary cannon is kind of anticlimactic. Because to a normal person, it will look like a rocket launcher. And the only difference is that when it hits the opponent, it basically becomes a flamethrower and will set them on fire as well. In fact, almost all the pyro attacks are very similar. If you look at your inventory, you also have a napalm, which is pretty much just your grenade version of the flamethrower. So if you like prime 2 and then throw it, there's your pyro napalm grenade. As you see, it just sets like a cluster on fire instead of setting it on fire this way. But it's all the same. It causes the same death messages. It basically causes damage in the same way. So really, as the pyro, you're really relying upon like attacking enemies using fire. And the main danger is that you basically have to rely upon the shotgun if you don't have asbestos armor. I mean, if the enemy has asbestos armor. But yeah, that's really all there is to that. If you type sniper, you can like... okay, first you need to type I'm in. That's right, I'm in. The sniper, we can see what type of things I have here. I just had the normal grenade, nothing fancy. So really, that's all we really have. Oh wait, we almost forgot the demo man. Let's do demo man this way. I'm in 1, and then we'll do demo man, demolitions man. Here we are. So as you see, this basically is your normal one. It gives you the grenade launcher, but also gives you the pipe bomb. Pipe bomb is just like every other pipe bomb we've ever seen in existence. You want to use an impulse. I think it's impulse 247, blows it up. So as you see, nothing really fancy. That is just basically all that is. Inventory gives you the Merv grenades again and normal grenades, and also the det pack. That's the big thing of this one. Basically, you set it. You'll set it to like have a charge. I think it's like det 20 maybe. So there we are. We'll set it for 20 seconds. We set it. There's our det pack. It's just a backpack. You want to get out of sight, or else it'll blow up and basically it'll kill anything that I can see. So you want to like hide behind cover where it can't be seen, and it will eventually blow up after 20 seconds. I set it to a bit of a long charge, so I had time to get away. But as you see, there we are. It blew up, and that's basically the Demolition Man. And so yeah, that's basically all the classes in a nutshell. Which was the main reason to really kind of show all this. As I said, 23423. I mean, 2423 really doesn't have a lot to it. it really has a lot of what we had in deathX. I imagine I'm going to be copying a lot of what's in deathX. There's some minor little differences here and there between the version that we saw in there and the one that we saw here. But as seen, they're relatively similar. We don't have the black squares or any of that real hazard that we had in deathX. So in a way, it's a bit simpler. It makes more straightforward than that one was. And it also should be mentioned that TeamFortress 1.3 will not work with deathX. If I try to load up deathX using TeamFortress 1.3, it will basically just crash because of the insta-kill based entities on the map. I'm not even sure they're supported at this point. If they are, it looks like deathX will have to get another release, but I have yet to see another release of deathX. I got lucky with seeing this release at 2.3.4. So, yeah, this is basically what we're working with for the time being. As said, this has been another little map for TeamFortress. Nothing too fancy, but I was able to at least showcase TeamFortress and what it really had as of version 1.3. So yeah, that's really almost a complete rundown of all that really TeamFortress has at this point, and the most famous map of all of them for TeamFortress, so it makes sense to kind of do it here, get it all done and showcase a big large thing of TeamFortress. So, with that in mind, that's really that in mind. Thank y'all for watching. As usual, people, it has been an adventure. And I guess I'll be seeing you all, well, next time.